Are you making these 3 huge mistakes when it comes to your marketing? I've worked with about 500 different clients in my time. Everything from Brazilian butt lift doctors, porn addiction counselors, up to the other end of normal in the finance, home builder space. You name it, I've probably worked in that industry. And 98% of the businesses that I've seen under the hood of are making at least one of these mistakes. And these mistakes are costing them at least tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars every single year. So let's find out how many of these mistakes you're making in your marketing, and let's figure out how to fix them as soon as possible and plug up those revenue leaks. So mistake number 1 is they have no plan or system in place to get leads. Effectively, there's no game plan on how to win, right? They test out all these random tactics. They have gone inch deep and a mile wide. They're testing hundreds, probably not hundreds, but many different traffic channel strategies. And then they're saying nothing works. Social media doesn't work. Partnerships don't work. Ads don't work. Facebook ads aren't working. But it's because they don't actually have an effective game plan to follow to hit their goals, which means they're just throwing tactics at the wall. They're wasting resources and wasting time because they haven't taken the time and the energy to figure out what is going to be our winning behavior, what is going to be our strategy to hit this goal. And when you create a game plan, which is what we do with our clients, what we do is we start to translate the abstract goal of winning into a defined plan of attack. It's not enough with your marketing just to show up and tick the boxes and then go, cool, we tried it, it doesn't work. You need to have a clearly defined strategy. So if you can feel like you're doing some random social media posts here, a desperate email blast there, and then running ads and wondering why they don't convert. Up on the screen now is an example from the introduction of our game plan that we do with our clients, and it shows you what goes into a good strategy. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? And I'm not saying that you need to be super rigid in what you're doing, because oftentimes things will fail, or maybe you do need to pivot. However, a lot of people skip this step, the thinking about why we're doing something and how we're going to do it, and they start going into the what, and they just start doing tactics blindly and maniacally, and they just don't know why nothing's working. It's because nothing's being guided by this game plan. So on our game plan, what we want to have is the business goals. We want to define winning and how marketing can help, right? Marketing is not a silver bullet for a crappy business or a crappy offer. The goal of marketing is to support the business goals. But if we don't have that goal defined, and a lot of my clients don't, we have to work on this so we actually know when we are winning. Number 2 is getting clear on your channel strategy and the economics of this, right? So this is deciding where we will compete. And here, what you want to do is, firstly, ideally, you're building a system that is going to have predictable and scalable leads and sales for you. So you want to get one, we call it clearing the room, get one traffic channel working and then add another. So think of it like you're building a team. You want to train up that person, get it working, autonomous, and then you can move it into BAU, business as usual, scaling that one. And then about 80% of your resources are spent on scaling and improving the ones in your team. And then 20% is on testing new channels that could become part of your core team. The next that you need to get is your messaging and differentiation. So who you want to be and how you're going to stand out from the noise. I have plenty of videos on how to do that. The next, which is probably one of the most important, because your marketing is just inputs and outputs. Garbage in, garbage out. So if you want to avoid living in a big fat pile of garbage in your marketing and your business, you need to understand your target market avatar. And it's not enough to say some bloke from Melbourne earning 50K a year, because that doesn't mean anything. You need to get really deep and understand the psychographics. What are their pain points, their hopes, their dreams, their fears, and ultimately, what is that big dream outcome, that transformation that you're really selling. And finally, how to win. So the systems and the resources and the projects that are going to take you there. Some stuff is going to be BAU, business as usual, and some of it is going to be special projects. We call them special projects, one-off projects to either build the system or you're testing something out. Once you understand that, the next part of your strategy is to map out what we call that persuasion experience, right? Everybody's going to go through 3 different phases: attract, convert, ascend. So what is our lead generation? How do we attract? How do we get the attention? How do we generate a lead? Convert is how do we convert that lead into a sale? What's our sales choreography? And then ascend is everything that happens on the back end, your onboarding, your referral, your retention. All of these touch points are potential revenue leaks. And if you don't map these out and optimize them, well, then your business is just running on chance and hope. And that is not how you're going to make a lot of money. This is a long one, but the final part of this step, this strategy, because it's so important and so many people don't have one. Pretty much every business I've ever worked with hasn't had this game plan. This is what we help our clients to figure out, is to ship fast and analyze often. So our growth flywheel that we want to instill with clients is ship, analyze, adjust, right? Every minute this isn't live, you're losing money. Now, maybe that sounds contradictory because I was like, take the time, front load your work, do these things. But the problem I see is people getting really caught up in perfectionism, but actually no one cares what you think. You've got to launch things into the market and see how they go. So you set up success parameters for your tests and then you analyze the data and you adjust. Okay, so that was mistake number 1, which was having no clear game plan or plan of attack, no clear strategy, just throwing random tactics out there and hoping they work. Number 2 is no clear strategy to stand out. So does this sound familiar? Maybe if you removed all of the logos between you and your top 3 or 5 competitors, you'd kind of all just look and sound the same on your website. And that's because a lot of people have this tunnel vision where they just copy their competitors and then they just launch same, boring marketing that doesn't stand out at all. They're actually kind of scared to stand out and do something different from the norm in that industry. The danger of this is that then you just get lost in this sea of sameness. You do not stand out from your competitors and you become commoditized, aka you're gonna have to start battling on price. But what if you could easily articulate what makes you not just better, but different, so that you could start charging what you wanted and getting the types of clients that you want, and ultimately capturing the attention of your dream customers. Okay, so I want you to ask this question to yourself or within your company, because if you're unsure whether your messaging sucks, here's what I want you to go and do. You're gonna go and ask 5 people or 3 people or the other person in your business, whatever it is, what do we do? Who do we do it for? And what's the result it gets? Because I bet you anything, if you are part of this 98% of clients that I've ever worked with, then you're gonna get 5, 3, however many people, everyone's gonna give you a different answer. What's the problem? Well, the problem is that means there's no way your target market, when you're putting out your marketing and your communications, is going to understand what you do if the people internally can't even articulate that themselves. So instead, you need to ask yourself, what makes you unique? Why should somebody choose you over every other competitor out there? Not just what makes you better, but what makes you different. Have a really clear brand identity. So in the previous step, we figured out who we talk to. A clear brand identity really clearly articulates who we are. So when it's a one-to-one conversation, we know who we're talking to, but we also know who we're talking as. Who is your brand? And I have plenty of other videos on how to do this, but I'm gonna show you our messaging formula. So effectively, once you figure all these things out, you can put it into something that is like the core brand messaging, what we do, who we do it for, the problem it solves, and the results it gets. As an example, there's the PX one up on the screen of what we do. Okay, and number 3, which I think is one of the biggest sins in your marketing, and that is a weak, flabby-armed offer that wouldn't motivate or persuade anyone to do anything. And why is this important? Because your website and your landing pages and what you put out there, it's like your digital salespeople, right? And they're trying to motivate and persuade someone to take action. So things like get a call, get a quote, speak with sales, that's boring and it stinks like a sales call, right? And whenever somebody's looking at what you're putting out there, all that's going on in their mind is, so what? who cares what's in it for me? So what you need to do is build a golden hippo offer. And this comes back to conducting the market research. We do surveys and third-party research to really understand, in the words of your target market, what is the big pain they're trying to solve? What's the big transformation? None of us sell a product or a service. We just sell entry into that desired after state. Remember, they're thinking, so what? Who cares? What's in it for me? You want to have a really unique and memorable offer. And up on the screen now is our formula. So basically, you can have the dream outcome, give them something tangible, and just show them how you're going to flip their problems into solutions. I have another video on this if you want to go deeper. So to recap, we need a clear strategy of how you will win, create messaging and a brand that will stand out from the noise in your market. Map out your persuasion experience, aka this is your lead gen, lead nurture, your sales, and then your whole client experience. Every one of those touch points is a potential revenue leak. If you can fix those, I guarantee you will find tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in that persuasion experience. And finally, build a golden hippo offer that's going to attract the right people and make people think, wow, I would be stupid if I didn't take this up. So team, if you found this helpful, please make sure you like and subscribe on this video or leave a comment. Do you have a landing page or a website you want me to check out and give you feedback on? Or do you have any questions about your own marketing or some hurdles and some blockers that are stopping you from going to the next level? Let me know in the comments and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Otherwise, team, appreciate you taking the time to watch this today and I'll see you on the next video.